But this is part of the U-Turn weight loss program. It's an 8-week program. We have 7 weeks left. So let's just go straight into it. There's two things to note about the mind. It's 90% negative and it's 99% repetitive. Things like what? Like, I'm not enough yet. Oh God, I'm having a bad hair day. Like, I got little Johnny working on me right in the center of my forehead today. The weather. Oh my God, it's too hot. Oh my God, it's too cold. It's always negative, right? I'm not there yet. Okay, so it's very rare that we'll ever have like a creative thought. I wanted to talk about the difference between two types of people: those that are completely mind derived, those that are always in the future, like all their attention, they live for the future. They can't be happy until this happens in the future. They're living for that moment or the past. Maybe something traumatic has happened. And then I also wanted to talk about present moment awareness. So that's the antithesis of being mind derived. It's living for this moment right here, right now, being completely open to whatever spontaneous happens. And so it's concerned with right and wrong. Your mind is concerned with better than, less than, and it's also concerned with limitation. So let's look at each one of those. So right and wrong. Your mind loves to make things right and wrong. Like, there's not a lot of room for in between. Your mind is always judging the moment. It's judging other people. It's judging other scenarios. It loves to be right. Can't stand to be wrong, but it loves to judge other people and actions and things. Better than, less than. Your mind loves to be in some sort of ranking or to rank itself as to where, it falls within life. You compare yourself to your friends. You compare your kids to other kids. You compare your, weight to other people's weights. Constantly there's this comparison, with this active, violence against yourself. And then lastly, limitation. So your mind is completely limited because it lives in right and wrong, and because it's always about greater than and less than, better than, worse than. That in itself is limiting, because you're always putting yourself into a box to compare, right? So that's just a limiting belief in general. In time, right? The things that I can do in time, the things that I want to do and where I'm trying to go, and the things that happen to me, those are all forms. And any form, the definition of a form is limitation. So anytime that you are mind derived, you're kind of in a scarcity mentality. In order for you to be constantly thinking about right and wrong, your mind feeds on resistance, and consistently it makes the now an enemy. Okay, so when you're mind derived, your whole life is in time. You have no awareness of this moment right here. So we're constantly checking out, trying to get to the future, I got to get there. I'm getting older. I got to do this, or whatever the story is. The mind is living in a constant story of why now is not good enough. And it's always making the now a problem. And it's doing that because it loves the story. It loves the story. Oh, it loves the entertainment. Opposite way of living will be present moment awareness. Just stop for a second and try to be present right now. When you're fully present, you cannot have any thoughts, because all of your consciousness is so far, so in tune with this moment that you can't think, because you're following this moment as it unfolds completely. Okay, so your mind knows this, and so it knows that when you're present, it's gonna stop the drama, and so it will try to take you out of the present moment every chance that it gets, because then that means the story stops. If you're mind derived, you really don't feel comfortable staying in the present moment because it's not really all that sexy. Let's just be honest. It's just real chill. This moment right here, wherever you are, get out of time. No future in this moment, no past in this moment. Just this moment, you watching this video. There is nothing wrong with this moment. This moment is everlasting. The potential is just I mean, it just goes and goes. I can act. I can take action right now to do anything that I want to, whether it be write a song, whether it be to start a new business, whether it be research how to do something that I've always wanted to know how to. It's endless. The possibilities are endless. And when you're in the present moment, filling your space up with life as it happens. That there is a piece of ourselves that can only be filled with ourselves. Really, our entire selves can only be really filled with ourselves. A car, more money, more people, more alcohol, more food, a dog. None of these things can really fill the void of us not acknowledging ourselves. And so when you're in the space of being mind derived, you're never here. You can't ever fill that void. So it's almost like this ravenous state that you're always trying to get somewhere else because this moment is not pleasant to you because you're feeling it, you're feeling not whole, right? When you actually dive deeper into this present moment, you can actually start to work on and do some of that work to start to fill yourself up. So that is typically what people that try to practice presence are really concerned about. They are wanting to experience life. They're wanting to, when they walk outside, to see all the colors and to see the sky and to see the birds and to see the flowers and to acknowledge people and to really feel connected to them as they're talking to them versus just walking around like, hey, how you doing? Good morning. But really feel like, good morning, how are you? That connection, that side of life that lets you know that you are part of a bigger planet that you belong to, and that you are just as much part of it as it is part of you. You got to remember the same molecules that are found in stars are found in our body, you guys. So being awakened to that and feeling that on a daily basis, if not moment by moment basis, is definitely a practice. This is something that we have not been taught, but something that's extremely valuable. There's a certain level of freedom that just comes from not being involved in the story all the time and just being here. And I mean, appreciation is part of that. You can't be happy if you don't have a level of appreciation. I think resistance is the only way that you can experience pain. I mean, the cosmos, that little word that is such an enormous being, God, has designed this moment specifically just for you to get to your next level, which is going to require some change and growth. And it's uncomfortable. And so the little me inside of us says, no, I'm resisting that. I don't like that. I'm not going to do it. I'm taking back my toys. I'm tearing this up. I don't want to talk to you in no way. So life is always yin and yang. And so anytime I experience pain, and this is something I definitely suggest you guys, don't look at it as a problem. Don't look at it as like, oh, life is horrible and bad things always happen to me. These are the moments when they're course correcting moments for your self-actualization. You're bumping up against the walls of life and it's trying to correct you. But if you give up, the present person, they probably go into this journey thinking already this is going to challenge me on all levels, because they look at life as the course corrector. They go with life. So as they go with it, they do that in everything. So they already know it's built in that this is going to be rough. But even in the moments when I'm not enjoying it, I can accept it, knowing that I have to go through it because it's only going to make me better. And with more practice, it's going to get easier. But this moment is all that exists. It's the isness of life. It is what it is what it is. And so we might as well accept it and use it for all that it's worth. But not try to change something that is institutionalized, right? The isness of life is institutionalized. So we can't do anything about it. Don't complain. Get out of your mind about it and just accept it. I just try to be resilient. Being resilient is brilliant. But having an inner yes.